What's up, y'all? So today we're going to have a conversation about twin flames. So if you don't know what the term twin flame is, don't feel bad. I didn't know what it was until yesterday. So we've all heard the term soulmates, okay? Soulmates also are seen as kindred spirits. It's essentially, people whose actual souls have a deep bond, a deep connection, an affinity for one another. I have quite a few soulmates, okay? And soulmates it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic thing. It can be friends. I definitely have friends that are soulmates. It can be a teacher. It can be a family member. It's just a kindred spirit, someone that you have a deeper bond with. Like that person, they help make me better. Like something about them helps make me better. Now, that's not the same as a twin flame. What a twin flame is said to be is when one soul is split into two. It is literally the other half of your soul. And no, not everybody has a twin flame because not everybody has a split soul. And what twin flames are, in some theories here, is a bond that can have two very wildly different effects. It can be something that, a pulling force that gives you this feeling of completeness, and it elevates you because you have your whole self, and then you two can move forward. And now, it doesn't have to be romantic. It generally is, but it doesn't have to be. Twin flames go through a lot. It's one of those things, like, how people say opposites attract. Well, when you have the other half of you, you're going to have a lot of similarities. And sometimes those similarities are toxic. Okay. And in those cases, there's times that twin flames will burn each other out. That's often, in fact, what happens. My sensei, she made that clear to me that, from the things that she hears is that often they burn really bright, really heavy, but they burn out fast. They're not meant for long term. And you guys hear me talk about my wife all the time. And she had heard the term twin flame a couple of days ago. And she was like, hey, look this up when you get the chance. She never looked it up. It just something she heard, it stuck. She felt it in her gut. She was like, look that up. So last night I looked it up, and I only went to one website. Okay. Wasn't the first one I saw. It was the first one that jumped out to me. I went with that one, and we read about twin flames. And let me tell you guys, some weeks ago, I learned about indigo children. I heard a term that I had never heard before, and I read the definition of who I was as a human being. I had never heard the term twin flames before. And then I looked it up, and I read the definition of the relationship that my and my wife have had during this go around. There were a lot of tears shed, okay? Because as it started giving examples of the phases and the things that people the things that twin flames often go through, it's like, that is our story. Talks about how the chase can go on for years. And I talk about how we had a 5 years war. Okay. That was part of the chase. And then it talks about how there's a separation. Yeah, it happened. But eventually we learn. Eventually figure it out. And that's when we get our true authentic selves, our real selves. And then we can build on that. And we have come to realize that the bonds that she and I share are such a different level and we keep finding out how deep it goes. And the more we open ourselves up, the more we find out. And it's like, is there a limit to this? Because right now, to us, and you can look in my eyes, you can feel it when I say this. This is not the first time that we've been together. This is not the first lifetime that we have shared together. The reason nobody else fits me as good as she does, and I said this 14 years ago. I said this before she even moved in with me. No one can fit me like she does. And the reason no one can fit me like she does is because she is literally the other half of my soul. We did something the other day. It's actually called soul gazing. Okay. And I kind of just fell into it. It wasn't intentional. I had tried something with Pumpkin before, and I wanted to see if the same thing would happen with Jennifer. And it didn't. It didn't. The same thing did not happen. In fact, what happened was my wife saw a corridor, a passageway. Haze gray, by the way. I thought that was funny. A haze gray passageway that led to an open space. My inner mind. My inner mind had all of my joy and the things that I loved and the things that I'm passionate about just floating around, swirling. Okay. Images. She was seeing them. And it was beautiful. And she was starting to get emotional. And then she saw me in there. Okay. But not me. It was my form, my figure. She could see the contouring and definition of my face, but my face was just pure light. My body was radiating beams of light. Colored beams, rainbow streaks. Said it was beautiful. And then I saw her. My light body saw her and lit up, y'all. And was like, yes! Because found the other half. His other half showed up. Think about that. Think about what kind of feeling that would have to be. To know that the literal other half of you just walked into your room. And you've been waiting. You've been waiting. Who knows how long he's been waiting this time. But she showed up. That's pretty cool. This is not a flame that's going to burn out. I'm not saying that all of you out there are going to have your own twin flame. I'm not going to say you're all going to have your own soulmates. But what I can tell you is that they exist. And the bond that you can have with a soulmate, with a twin flame, I cannot. The only way that I could explain it was it is. It just is. That is our bond. Any other way of trying to describe it would do it a disservice. I hope you all can find that for yourselves. Because it is possible. Be kind to yourselves.